everyone, my name is Miss Jamie, and I am so excited to be part of this FIBO cultural series about Mexican culture. Today we're going to talk about a Mexican traditional holiday called Dia de los Muertos, which translates to mean in English, the Day of the Dead. But this isn't a scary holiday. This is a celebration of everyone who has loved ones that they would like to remember. They have large celebrations and parades and paint their faces and wear masks and make special remembrances for people that they miss. So this is a celebration of life holiday, and we are going to make a very fun mask in part of it. We are also going to make a flower headband to go with our mask or to wear as decoration. So the supplies that you'll need for your mask is 2 blank pieces of paper, a pair of scissors, a pencil, an eraser, a Sharpie, and you will also want to have for your coloring some markers, some jewels or stickers to decorate your mask. And for the second part of the flower headband, you will want some tissue paper like you use for gift wrapping and a stapler. And that's all. So I'm so excited to get started with you. Let's get your supplies ready and get started. For our first step, all we will need is 1 blank piece of paper and a pencil. You also might want an eraser for this step, but you don't really need one because this is our practice drawing, so it's okay to make some mistakes. Now, so that you can see the steps better, I'm going to do these steps in a Sharpie, but you will be using your pencil. So, for this step, we are going to start by drawing guidelines. Now, this guideline is going to show us where our drawing steps are going to go. And it's important that we use these guidelines so that we know where all of our shapes for our mask are going to be. So we're all going to do this together. Let's grab our pencil and start at the top middle of our paper. We're going to basically draw a very large plus sign by starting at the top and drawing one straight vertical line down to the bottom edge of our paper. Now we're going to find about the middle on the side. So we want to draw a line about halfway through our paper, and it's okay if you just guess, you don't have to measure. So starting on the left side, we're going to draw a line horizontally to the right. Now, once you've done that, we are ready to draw the features of our mask. So these are going to be the main things that are important to the mask. So that's going to be the eyes, the nose, and the mouth, so that we know where it's going to go. Now, so that you have a better idea of where your mask is going to be, we can draw some circular lines so that we can see where the whole shape of the skull will be. Now that we have our grid, let's draw where our mask is going to be. To do this, we're actually going to just draw some rainbow lines in the corner of our paper. Now it's going to start at the top and make a curve around each corner. This will make your paper look kind of like a rectangle with rounded corners, but that's what we want because that's the shape we will cut out for our mask in our later steps. So let's start at the middle of our grid line, right here in the center. You can measure about 2 finger spaces to the side and draw a circle for your eye. Now the eyes of your mask are going to be pretty big, so they should not be little teeny tiny ones. They should be large, taking up about 1/3 of your paper, and they're going to go right here on this middle line. So let's all measure our 2 finger space to the side, and we can draw half of our eye at a time so that we have a nice even circle. So let's put our pencil just to the right of our fingers and draw one large rainbow on the top of our line and then one large U on the bottom. We'll do the same thing on this side. And remember, it's okay if these aren't exactly even or aren't perfect circles. This is just our practice drawing. Now from here, we are going to draw the nose of our mask. And this isn't going to look like a regular nose, it's going to be a shape. For this shape, we are going to start at the middle line here in the center of our paper. And we are going to draw a big backwards letter J. And on the right side, we are going to do the same thing, but it'll just look like a tilted letter J facing the right way. Now from here, I would like us to draw a line going from the center of one of our eyes. It's going to be a vertical line that goes straight down to the bottom of our paper. Let's do that on the other side. And that is going to show us how wide our mouth will be. So we will draw a very large rainbow line again, and it's going to go from the left up just underneath our nose, and then come back down to meet this other line. Now that we have the basics, we can start to do our design placement. So for this mask, we should have some designs over the whole thing. And that's because this holiday, Dia de los Muertos, is a celebration. And there are lots of bright colors and designs and decorations. So we want our mask to be very well decorated. So you can put as many designs as you would like to on your mask. But I would like to at least have all of us with a design here in the center between the eyes, a design that will go as a curve here, and one on the other side, and something around the eyes. So our eyes you can make much larger with a big circle around, or if you want them to be smaller, you can put a smaller circle inside of the circle you already drew. And from here, you can start your design ideas. For Dia de los Muertos, a lot of designs have something bright and colorful and happy around the eyes. Often, this is shaped like a flower. So I'm going to recommend that you also have a flower design around your eyes, and you can do this by drawing petals in a rainbow shape in this design space that we did in circles for our eyes. Now these petals can be whatever color you want, but later in our project we're going to learn about some of the special flowers that we use in this holiday, and you might choose to have colors or flower petals that look like those. It's up to you. Now you can also have designs that aren't flowers. You can have anything that you want. It could be flowers or flames. Some people like to even draw spider webs in some of the corners, or decorate with gemstones, or make some geometric shapes like diamonds. If you wanted to do a diamond, you could start at the middle and make a sideways V shape on each side. That way it's symmetrical, which means even on each side. So you can do all of the designs on your mask how you would like. And then before we move on to our next step, we also need to make sure that our mask will have teeth. Now for this, we're going to start at the bottom middle And we are going to draw some really tall, thin rainbow lines. About 3 on each side, so that our mask will have a total of 6 teeth going across. So as you continue to do the designs, you can think about what you want your mask to be about. Now, in Dia de los Muertos, the holiday, it is about honoring and remembering family members or other people who you care about. So sometimes masks will be about what that person liked, or sometimes they will have hearts because it's about a person that they cared for. So if a person really liked gardening or plants, then they might have a lot of flowers on their mask, or maybe some little leaf petals, or something like that. Now for this step, get very creative. So if you want to do any of these designs, or if you want to do some simple shapes that are maybe just some circles because you know you want it to be very colorful, that's fine. But practice all of these on your practice drawing now so that when we get to our final drawing, we'll have all of our design ideas ready. So take some time and keep designing. You can also make fun swirls that go around some of the cheekbones, or maybe up here you would like to do some fun ones like this. Just get creative and figure some things out during this step. And once you have finished all of your design steps and you're happy with how the mask looks, we can move on from our practice drawing and go to our final drawing. Now that we're ready to start our final drawing, we'll get our second piece of blank paper ready. We'll also use our same pencil and an eraser if you would like. Our first step is going to be to draw our same grid line that we did on our practice drawing. And remember, mine is in Sharpie so that you can see it better, but yours will still be in pencil. So remember that our grid line is a large plus sign that starts at the top middle of our paper, a vertical line that goes down here, and then we draw a horizontal line through the middle of our paper starting on the left and going over to the right. Our next step is going to be our rounded corners for our mask. So we're going to start in the top left square, and we are going to make our corners round. And do that on all 4 corners. From there, we are going to draw some diagonal lines, and these are going to go from the top left corner of our paper down, and these are going to go down about halfway into our square. Let's do the same thing on the right. One diagonal line that goes from the top right corner about halfway into our top right square section. Once you've done these steps, we're ready to draw our mask features. And again, these are going to be our eyes, our nose, and our mouth. To draw the eyes, let's start in the middle, and we can measure about 2 finger lengths to the side. If it's easier, you can do 1/2 of the circle at a time. But remember, these are going to be large circles. So let's keep those rainbow lines and U lines nice and big. Good. So from here, let's draw our nose. This is going to start in the middle of the paper, and it's going to be even higher than our eyes. Let's draw a sideways curve on each side. You can also think of it as an upside down heart. Now with your pencil, go to the center bottom of each eye and draw a vertical line straight down so that we know where our mouth will fit. Then we're going to start at the bottom of each of those lines to do a large rainbow going up and over from side to side. Now on this step, because it's our final drawing, we're going to add a line so that we know where to cut out the cheeks of our mask. To do this, let's find the top of our mouth line and go over to the left. Now meet up with the line that you drew going from your eyes, and we're going to do a big letter U that's going to go down and then connect with our side line. The same thing on the right. Let's find the top of our mouth, scoot over to the right, and then do a curved line that meets up on the right side. Now that we have these steps drawn, we are going to cut out our mask before we add all of our designs. So you can put your pencil down and pick up your scissors. Now with your scissors, we are going to cut our curved corners out. So we are going to just cut over each of our rounded corners. Very carefully so that we have a nice curved rectangle shape for our mask. Now on the bottom, you can follow our cheek line and cut up to there. Now be careful that you don't cut out the mouth or any of the features. You only need to cut out the outside of the cheeks and the top of the head. Now you also have the choice if you would like to cut out the eyes and nose of your mask so that when you wear it, you can see your eyes and nose peeking through. That's up to you. I'm going to leave mine in for now. Now that we've cut out the outside of our mask, we need to cut our diagonal lines. You're just going to follow the lines that you drew and also in the middle, about halfway down. Now we can pick up our pencil again, and we need to draw a couple more diagonal lines so that we know where we will fold our mask later. So let's go to each of our lines and we'll draw a diagonal that goes about 1 finger length like this. Good job. Now we can erase our pencil lines and get started drawing our designs. So do your best to erase all of your pencil lines because we don't need to see them on our final mask. We only want to see all of our beautiful decorations. Now that we have our fold lines drawn, we can draw our final design onto our mask. And hopefully you've come up with some really fun designs that are important to you. So if you're going to do an eye design, you can draw your smaller circle with some flower petals around or whatever you decided to do. Now for the teeth, remember, we're going to draw 3 tall, thin rainbow lines on each side. If you would like to add another few lines of swirls, remember that we are going to add a design here on the cheeks, one in the middle, and even all over the rest of your mask if you choose. Just remember that whatever design you choose, it should be special to you, and you can get as creative as you want. Keep drawing your designs, but before you go on to the coloring steps, I would like all of us to use our black markers and go over the inside of the eyes, the nose, and our mouth. The rest of the details that you have done can be in color or with your black marker. So it should look something like this. As you can see, I decided that my swirl designs were going to be in black, but the rest of my designs are going to be in color. So once you've gotten to this step, we can move on to our color. So when you do your coloring steps, I would like you to remember that we want to make this mask as bright and colorful and cheerful as Dia de los Muertos is as a holiday, because it's a celebration. So I am going to use some colors like orange and blue, maybe some red and green, as many colors as you can. And you're going to use those colors to outline and then fill in after you have outlined with the color with some nice even strokes from top to bottom. Now take your time doing this. These designs are in small areas and you're going to need to take a lot of care that you're staying inside of all of our small design spaces. Now keep going with your coloring steps and remember that we want it to be really bright and colorful. So use as many colors as you can. And when you're done, it should look something like this. So we have our edges all cut out. We have our bright colors. And we have our Sharpie lines on just a few of our details. Now we can put away our markers and we're going to fold our mask now. So these diagonal lines right next to our cut lines are going to fold down. So fold along the lines and gently press for each of them. There are the 3 at the top. And then we are going to just very gently roll our paper together and crease lightly so that our paper is ready to be bent. Now is where you're going to use your tape. And you don't need very much, just one piece on each fold. And then we are going to attach the folds by bending our paper and just folding them over so that our mask starts to pop out like this. Now, if you decided that you wanted to add some extra stickers or jewels to your mask, now would be a great time to do it. I got some colorful stick-on jewels, and I'm just going to use some of the same colors to go around my mask, just to add some more festivity to our very lovely Dia de los Muertos masks. So keep decorating, and once you're done, you can set your mask to the side and get your tissue paper ready. I recommend having at least 3 different colors. Again, let's have them be some nice bright colors. These could maybe be the colors of the Mexican flag, the American flag, some of your favorite flowers, whatever you would like. For this, I am going to use green, blue, red, and light blue. Now cut them into strips so that you don't have too much tissue paper, but we want at least some long rectangles. And then we're going to take our scissors and we're going to cut some small squares. And we need a lot of squares for each color. So I recommend that you fold your papers in half and cut long ways, again and again, until you have a small stack of the same colored paper. Now you can make these different sizes if you would like, or you can have different sizes for different flowers. That's up to you. So you should end up with a few stacks, and I will show you what we're going to do with them next to make some 3-dimensional flowers for our mask. Now, 3-dimensional means that these are actually going to pop out. So grab your stapler and neatly stack together your tissue papers. And we're going to very carefully staple once here in the middle, and then once going the other way to make a nice plus sign. Now get your scissors ready, and we are going to once again curve the corners of our rectangular shapes. And because we stuck these together, you get to cut all of the pieces at once, and they'll be nice and even. Now from here, you get to choose what kind of flowers you would like your tissue paper to become. You can get creative and do some different shapes for your flowers. So maybe you want to cut out some more of your corners, do some squigglies, whatever you would like. But you do want to cut some diagonal lines from the outside of your tissue paper circles, going towards the inside. I would say cut out at least 6. Another example of some ways that you could cut your flower petals is like this. or really however you would like. Now, this next step is going to take a little while, but it's pretty fun. And our flowers are going to be nice and three-dimensional when we're done. So let's start by separating the top layer of our tissue paper, like this, and you are going to clump it together, kind of scrunch it with your fingers so that it stands up. And it's that simple. Then we go to our next layer and we scrunch. And it stands up just like this. Now, I know that you'll be tempted to try to scrunch all of them together at once, but then it doesn't stay. If you take the time to do them nice and slow, then you will get a nice three-dimensional flower that sticks up on its own. And you repeat these steps for at least 3 of your flower colors. When you're done, you should have some nice different colored flowers. Like this. If you would like to have your flowers be attached to your Dia de los Muertos mask, you can use tape or your stapler and simply connect them together like this. You can also use your ribbon to put underneath your flowers to make yourself or your mask a nice headband. Now you can use your ribbon to connect to the mask, again, using tape or a stapler. Connect it to both sides, and you will have your very own Dia de los Muertos mask to wear for the holiday. Or you can make these into some decorations that maybe go around your mask as part of your Dia de los Muertos celebration. So you can choose to wear your mask, or you can choose to have it be a decoration for the traditional altars that come with Dia de los Muertos. So if you were celebrating the holiday and you chose to make some flowers that a loved one likes, then you can make a space that's dedicated to them just like this and have your own Dia de los Muertos celebration. If you would like to make Thank you all again so much for joining me, Miss Jamie, for this section of FIBO's cultural series. I'm so glad that I got to share with you about the Mexican culture and its holiday, Dia de los Muertos. I can't wait to see what all of you came up with and what you decided to say with your mask for this holiday. So thanks again, and I'll see you all soon.